Only a few years ago, shots like these would have cost a fortune, while creating a video similar to this one would have been virtually impossible. A helicopter in the city, so close to the people, it was strictly forbidden. Their arrival changed things overnight. A hugely expensive aero, photo, and video recording arrived at the price of a mobile phone. You can take off and shoot whatever you want from high above, anywhere and anytime now, whether it is in the center of the city, next to historical monuments, or at a summer vacation. Definitely in winter, when filming at minus 25 degrees Celsius, get the rocket ready on the launch pad. Go ahead and film it. Even at night, not every civil helicopter can take off at night, and those devices can do all of these. These devices, called multicopters, and in slang, drones, are not restricted to video recordings. We can only make assumptions at what will happen in the next 2 to 3 years. However, some things are rather obvious, even today. Shall we take off then? This is a helicopter. And this is a multicopter. How do they differ from each other? Essentially, in almost every way. A helicopter is usually piloted. The source of the power supply is an internal combustion engine. It has 2 rotors, classical, coaxial, transverse, or intermeshing. Multicopters are normally unmanned, equipped with electric motors, and use lithium polymer or lithium-ion batteries. They have 3 or more rotors, hence the prefix multi. The most common ones have 4, 6, or 8 rotors, depending on the mass of the payload. But even if you take a small model helicopter of the same size as a multicopter, there will be one fundamental difference, which has, in fact, made drones accessible to everyone. The main rotor is controlled by a mechanism called a swash plate. Here it is in a big aircraft. And in a small model, the swash plate changes the blade angle, which allows the helicopter to fly forwards, backwards, and sideways. In short, in any direction. Multicopters do not have swash plates. Their blades are fixed at a certain angle. They move due to the difference in the rotational speed of the rotors. That's how it happens. On the one side, the blades rotate faster and the aircraft flies sideways. If all the blades slow down, the aircraft starts landing, and so on and so forth. A swash plate is in fact a necessary measure. The configuration of multicopters is much more simple and efficient than that of helicopters. So why do piloted aircrafts not follow the same simple and effective pattern? The answer is simple. It has to do with the engines. Multicopters have a separate electrical motor for each rotor. That would be hugely expensive, nearly impossible, and highly unreliable when it comes to big helicopters. There are thousands of models of multicopters today. They can essentially be divided into 3 large groups. toys for beginners, medium-sized multicopters for advanced users, and large ones for professionals. So let's start from the basic level, toy multicopters. Why do they exist, and who is buying them? Typically, those toys are purchased by small children and big boys. Based on this target market, they make basic models equipped with onboard cameras or any simple ultrasonic sensors to maintain altitude. Roman has been selling and repairing multicopters for a few years. Technically speaking, about 5 years ago, three main elements of the drones emerged: rechargeable lithium polymer batteries, rare earth element-based commutatorless motors, and flight controllers. It was the emergence of flight controllers that created an entire galaxy of copters, including quadcopters, hexacopters, octocopters, and so on. Let me explain. Compact in size, lithium polymer batteries have a high voltage rating. Commutatorless motors can easily change the rotation speed, and they do not contain mechanical commutating devices that can cause sparks. Flight controllers can track down the position of the aircraft in space. Those three components give rise to powerful, fast, and semi-automatic multicopters. The latter is probably the most critical characteristic. Even a beginner can send those semi-robotic aircrafts up into the air. Okay, so here's a mini drone, and I'll try to fly it. Although I did fly a medium-sized drone before, will it be more difficult to operate this one? Let's try. Yes, let's try. We are taking off. Taking off. Oh, where is it going to? Uh-oh. I got it. So, we can say that I have passed the first level. Usually, mini drones are not equipped with flight controllers, which maintain the height level automatically. The craft levels itself with the horizon automatically, but that's it. Large and medium-sized multicopters are equipped with more advanced systems, so it's much easier to fly them. We offer special training courses on piloting drones, and if a beginner masters a small model, then a medium or large-size model will be easy to master. In general, yes, yes. On the other hand, mini drones can cost just $20 and can easily withstand a dozen drops, which can, if required, count as a successful landing. Great. I landed right on the desk. I think that's called beginner's luck. It landed spot on. Shooting area. The actors are preparing for shooting. Here is the scene. And here is a camera. Or rather, here is a multicopter that will take the camera up into the air. The current technology allows one to skip the stage setting and instead film it all with a drone. In other words, everything can be shot in one take without having to splice together the different stages. So, we installed the camera, configured the multicopter, and can start shooting. We just need to wait till the darkness sets in. Multicopters are a real game changer in cinematography. And not only in cinematography, music video directors are fond of drone footage too, for simple reasons. Firstly, it looks expensive. Secondly, it's cheap. A cinema crane cannot shoot such footage. It just doesn't fit on a roof. And up here, nobody would allow a large helicopter either. Drones have revolutionized modern cinema. Directors have been presented with an opportunity to realize their ideas and create more dynamic shots to easily move from close-ups to wide shots. However, if it were not for yet another very important device, those visual marvels would never have been possible. The device is called suspender. Its scientific term is an electronic stabilizer. If it weren't for it, the camera mounted on the drone would have been shaking all around. For when up in the air, the aircraft is always in motion, even though it's not visible to the eye. It happens due to airstreams and micro vibrations of the motor. To eliminate those factors which are not beneficial to the quality of the image, a sort of adapter is installed between the multicopter and the camera. A stabilizer. It keeps the camera in a horizontal position at all times. If a drone leans to the left, the stabilizer moves the camera to the right, and so forth. Other than performing its stabilizing function, it can also move. It can rotate around its axis and direct the camera downwards. The cameraman on the ground controls this movement, so big drones are usually controlled by two people. A pilot who controls the drone, and a cameraman who controls the camera. In order to make smooth combined motions that will create a magnificent image on screen for the audience to enjoy, a complex combination of camera movement and drone movement is required. A pilot cannot manage it all alone. To perform creative and technical tasks single-handedly is very challenging and not always safe. Two people can do it much more effectively. Although it's not always done this way, at times all functions, those of a pilot and those of a cameraman, are performed by one person. However, we will tell you about that another time. Coming up next, is it possible to use multicopters for cargo delivery? Is it safe? Drone racing, one of the most unusual and dynamic modern sports. Multicopters in the experiments program. Our flight continues. Have you ever ordered anything online? Normally when you do, a courier calls you and arranges a time and place with you for the delivery. Then he delivers the order to you personally. A simple scheme. Could it be modernized? Cargo delivery by drones is a very tempting but not yet viable idea. It is an unmanned aerial vehicle, yet it requires human control for taking off and landing. But it has already become possible to deliver some goods by drones. This is the first company in Russia which managed to do what others have only been talking about for years. The subject of using drones for delivery has been discussed for quite a while. Is it really possible to use drones for these purposes? You simply have to attach the shipment to the drone, then set the route, it will take off, and reach its destination, then the main question arises: how to deliver the cargo specifically to the person who ordered it or to any other place specified. We introduced a system based on which the cargo is lowered to the ground with a special cable. Furthermore, this system allows it to deliver things right through an open window. A special platform is equipped with an engine which delivers the order right onto the customer's table. There are a lot of pros and cons, but this scheme is already a reality. And now we will show you how it works, so that you feel like you have entered a parallel universe where things like this are possible. But seriously, drone delivery of pizza only worked for a couple of months. So now, we only show an imitation. So how does all of this happen? A freshly baked pizza is placed in a box and positioned on a special platform mounted onto the bottom of the drone. This platform will be lowered by a special cable. Then the procedure is simple. The pilot lifts the drone up into the air, reaches the destination, guided by the camera located on board, and hovers over the delivery place, for instance, a little cafe. Wow, it's so big. Yes. All the compartments are opened, and we can see the pizza that is now being released. Wow, it descends really fast. Yes, it descends fast, at a speed of around 2 meters a second. Voila, right into my hands. The pizza is removed from the platform, and the platform rises back to the top, leaving the hot pizza in my hands. We open the box and discover the pizza is already cut into pieces. It is cut into pieces and slightly mixed up. It must have happened during the flight, right? Yes, I guess so. Well, basically, everything is quite simple. Yes? The drone does not land when delivering a pizza. Firstly, it's dangerous for the people around. It has rotating blades. Secondly, it can be damaged or simply stolen. If someone on the ground pulls a cable out, it will automatically be cut off. Those are all anti-vandalism measures. Okay, so why, despite all the research and discussions, is this so rare, if it exists at all? The answer is simple. It is expensive. It's there, it works, but each delivery costs more than a normal delivery by courier because of the cost of technology. Forecasting is a thankless task. Some people say that within 5 to 7 years, this technology will reach the required level of profitability. Someone says it will happen sooner, within 2 to 3 years. So far, despite the seeming simplicity, this type of delivery has more disadvantages than advantages. Still to come in the final part. The youngest sport, drone racing. Its rules, technique, and pilots. Back in a minute with experiments. Drone racing. Racing with multicopters. It is not just a new sport. It is a sport which is being born right before our eyes. It is only a few years old. The rules and technical requirements have just been set. Leaders and fans are now appearing. Of course they would. Such an exhilarating spectacle is capable of superseding even Formula One. Locations for drone racing. It is either an enclosed space. Normally these are vacant underground garages, but I prefer open air competitions. Pilots get together on weekends, choose a place they like. It's desirable to have trees around. They lay out markers, colorful plates, which mark the course for the pilots, and gates are placed as well. Those gates are called course gates. They remind you of a tent. Those gates perform a double function. On the one hand, they help a pilot to focus on the course. On the other hand, they create an obstacle to make the flight more challenging. So it seems to be clear as far as the course is concerned. Let's have a look at high-speed drones. So this is a racing drone. It appears to me that its distinctive feature is that it is very compact. What else? Oh yes, its frame is sturdier and more rigid. It is designed specifically to withstand shock loads. There are also special superior aerodynamic propellers that enable them to fly very fast. Furthermore, they are equipped with two cameras. The first one is the camera that is responsible for what the pilot is seeing, and the second camera is the recording camera that captures the terrain so that later on you will have a beautiful video with amazing content. I understand that this whole construction is, well, as they say, a craft project. Yes, you can't buy a drone like this in a shop. You can only buy parts, which are then assembled by yourself or under the instruction of a specialist. How do you fly a drone like this? I can pilot the simplest drone model, so this remote control is more or less new to me. Although, in any case, I don't think that this kind of flight can be particularly comfortable or calm. We are at the starting position. Turn on the machine. So I'm ready. I'm taking off. Right away, something starts to go wrong. I passed the gates. Wait, hold on. You're somewhere left and I am left behind. I am coming back. I have some strange mode here. I seem to be bouncing rather than flying. Let me see where you are. There I can see you. No, wait. I am trying. I think I'm a complete failure. Don't worry, no one is born a master. Hold on a sec. I am trying to stabilize its height. Okay, I am watching you, right? Carefully. Nothing's right so far. Use the throttle. In situations like this, you can only say, thank you very much for the invaluable experience. Until we meet again. Agreed. Multicopters. Their emergence is certainly a sign of technical progress. In the absence of rechargeable batteries, miniature motors, height and horizon controllers, we would have never come up with such an easy-to-operate flying machine. These vehicles perform only half of the tasks, though. They lift various devices up into the air, Yet the choice of those devices, be it a camera, a sensor, or some cargo, is determined only by the owner. So we are only starting to explore the possibilities multicopters hold for us.